Another video. Hmm? Yes, it's recording. Um, I just like really happy that a lot of Americans are standing up for constitutional rights. I saw a gay march um, in Manhattan, New York, um, um, and and them showing up um, for the Muslims um, that were being banned by the new administration and protesting in the airports. And at the same time, I'm very disturbed at Trump's, new administration, his new orders, his executive orders that he does all the time, and it, it's sort of weird because like I think that right now that we could see that we as Americans are not happy with what they're doing. One of the things they're undoing that President Obama had did was with the banking industry. Hearing that he's undoing some of the things that would stop the banks from robbing and being crooks, and a lot of banks haven't recovered the bank because it was like a domino effect when you know people could um, find out like, oh well, we could get away with it. It was like globally uh, a problem, a dominoes. Greece hasn't even recovered, and most of Europe hasn't. So you know, his policies might upset more than just American citizens. Um, and we have already seen it with Mexico, uh, and with Australia, and the British are being very vocal about really not wanting him to come to London to meet the Queen. And personally, I don't think that he represents America. He's not a gentleman. He has no chivalry, and he's disrespectful to women uh, because of many things that he has said and many of his actions and many things that he had to go to court and be accused of uh, were all not appropriate. Um, I don't know if his wife is in danger, and he's getting rid of like some the money that will help women uh of violence. So I'm beginning to think that maybe Ivanka's in trouble, you know, and like there's other she's in a highfalutin type of position where there's other women like her that have money or were in her position, and it's like you've been married more than 10 years, you're entitled to half of what he has anyway. But I don't know. But she looked like a battered woman. That's what I think. I think he just married her for her looks, and he's fickle. That's what I think. He's been married 3 times. I've been married 3 times. I know about fickle. But I think we're in danger. I think that like with them starting that stupid thing about the massacre in Bowling Green, I can't even really wrap my lips around saying alternative facts. It just sounds chaotic. And it sounds like we're having a chaotic first month with uh, this Trump in office, and and then some of the other things he's undoing is our environmental. He's going to allow coal companies, oil companies, just to go ahead and flush their waste into our ocean. And I mean, I don't know. A third grader we need to probably explain uh uh to Trump and his Banner and his people that um, that's not good. You know, um, it's really really bad because of uh, if we kill our ocean, that's it. I don't. I you know. I mean, like I have to admit that some days I just be thinking in my mind that they got to be aliens, that they're intentionally wanting to kill and destroy this planet, you know, uh, so like maybe like some little like, like I see them as like it's like I don't see like something from another alien from another planet looking anything like us or ET or anything that we've seen. I've seen like or like any humanoid. I see it more as like maybe it's like some type of parasite um that is attaching on and can live out of the host um if they have to breathe if they could breathe um carbon, you know, because our CO2 levels are so high and and then he's gonna like deny um, that we're having a problem with our water's already being polluted. If you think it's okay to dump more in, and polluting the water and with climate warming, which he's also a denier of, and all these things, uh, it could cause more ocean water to be desalinated and for it to be, you know, and desalinated with the pollution and ice melt. So it could cause current changes, which cause further uh, weather changes and drought and just ridiculous stuff. More of what we've seen in 2016, where we've seen a lot of fire, a lot of drought, you know. So, like, I guess, and then he wants to make abolish our First Amendment. Like he's like fighting with the media. He you know um um and it's so I think his so like I don't know, I forget the guy's name that's gonna be over environmental. I believe he's the guy from yeah, he's from Oklahoma where they have all the fracking, where they're ignoring that there's fracking. And there's some what we have to do is that we have these midterms elections coming up. We have to start voting these people out. I mean, they're gonna have distraction, like in the sports events, like they was acting like this Super Bowl was the biggest and all this, and I knew like this one team was gonna win when they showed these little kids. I don't pay attention to the sports. I think it's I think it's looking at the sports and objectively, it's a great way to see how modern day slavery is run. Which reminds me, I'm talking a little long, but it reminds me of this of a story about ancient Alexander again and the Romans coming, and the Romans was big in politics, but the big thing about the Alexanders was they was into science. So which the Romans mistakes them. Well, anyway, um, I can't remember. I guess I'm sleepy. Um, but the Romans they eventually helped destroy. But like the thing is that the elites and the most powerful ones that were running, like they ran like temples, the churches and stuff like that, and they was able to use their knowledge of the wheel, of the pulleys, uh, of weights and lever, and uh, um, well, of course, the Romans wanted everything that the Alexanders had, but they seen them coming. So because like they came the year before, and they they just took stuff from them, um and but they couldn't understand. Well, so I can't remember exactly what I was gonna say. I'll go to the one story. They couldn't understand how, they could be so prosperous. How they make so much money, how they could control their people without like beating them and torturing them and stuff like that. Well, and also like in the thing, like the Roman soldiers had a bad habit of wanting raping like 12-year-olds, boys and girls, but um uh um which the girls were too young really to like the whole pregnancy, so they would put them out, the female, and if they anyway, so but they couldn't understand why, because like these are the controls they use, and they couldn't understand the relationship that the male and female had, but they wanted this. um so like if you think of like the way the Alexander's um society was built, it was sort of like the pyramid. Like at the top of the pyramid, you really had 13 families, and like each one of the families that like ended, like they ended up pretty, huge families. But so you had them at the very top, and then the next four like layers down, and let's say that this is a stir like of 20. The next four down, like they didn't fraternize with the different levels, but the next four down, it was on a different. It had a different job. The top one job was more into the science of keeping them, like the family going, like making calendars. Like they had 13 months, 28 days each. They followed the cycle of the moon and also the cycle of the woman, which they saw occur, like together. So anyway, so eventually, what happened was that the first pair of them, after the Romans let them know they were going to be coming back, they all left. They left and they took the riches and everything else. And I guess like in some sense they were a branch of the Moors, and also like Masons. They knew how measurements. They knew how to like architecture, design, and how to build those pyramids. But the nether level, the fourth level, they had a lot of knowledge of the farming animals and stuff like that, but not so much as they weren't. They knew how to mix up the bricks and stuff like that from like from the ground and stuff, but they weren't into um they were just different. They also had left, so they left the lower piers down, and they left because the Romans would, like they came and they was like killing them, and they were a war group, so they have this patrol. They're always at war, and the response of them killing usually other people is for them to kill back. So they left, right. They and like the way the story was told to me, that they went to like what like South America, Mexico way. They have like, and they went in like They had a fleet like of 16 boats, but 13 or 14 boats left. The other ones stayed for like the help the other ones like escape and leave and whatnot. So but they were going another way. Anyway, so that's why you're supposed to have pyramids in South America. Um, but what happened was everything that the Romans admired and wanted to emulate, eh, they did, they wasn't able to do it because they couldn't and wouldn't do the basics that they needed to do for the change, which was to educate themselves in that area. And I see that as the same problem that we have with the Trump administration, that they're gonna destroy, run off, or just totally, and then take the next 3 centuries trying to get that back. You know, and I think that with the climate uh, change and all that, that we don't have 3 centuries to, because like I think it's true we have a dummy down the United States, and I think the basic answer is to educate, education, and creativity causes people to be more inventive, and there are still so many more things that we could do, and I think that we could make a lot of money um, going green. I think we could open up a lot of job opportunities, not only with people that scientists doing the work, but in the labor force doing the work, and the schools and colleges, coming up with new, inventive, and creative children or adults rather to hit the workforce. So like if that's like sort of the problem with some of the Trump people, they don't want to have to have so many people come from other countries, but right now with immigration, these people are in a dire need. They're in an area where it's war ridden, and I guess the closest thing you could say is World War I and World War II. But we've had many wars, Vietnam and whatnot, to where you could actually talk to people that have survived that were refugees from these other countries, and it may be the same way with and like I don't even understand with Muslim this and that, because it is a religion, and I think that we have to respect the fact that the United States, we have a constitutional right to freedom of religion, and I think that I mean, look, we went to the moon, and if you didn't find no little man out in space in the moon, I think that we should think that maybe uh, um, a little bit differenter. Cause and also in that story, like they worship the sun. To them, the sun, um, like like what happened like with the sun, like with life, like because they worship and they were able to extract like static electricity like out, and they had a good understanding of the physics of nature. Uh, but anyway, they said like the Earth started, and this is why water is very sacred to life, because uh, from the sun, like a flare came off the sun, and because of the gases and stuff that was already here, when this burst from the sun, this um, um, flare, like it flared up, and it when it flared up, because I guess there was something that's supposed to have hit the sun and caused the piece to come off and hit the earth. When it hit the earth, it was supposedly had heated up the earth, and in heating up the earth, it causes the, like heat causes molecules to move quicker. It caused water to be born. So you had the heat, and then you had the cooling, then and then that had correlated with the earth turning also to the where it was evening, so they had a whole, you know, uh, uh, uh like at least 10 hours to cool, and then sunrise came and warmed it back up, but it didn't cool as much as it had been cooled before, and didn't heat up as much as it heated up before, and with the rotation, and then because the molecules were had been heated up, and during this heated up, some of them was able to combine, but the then when they combine the cooling from the night, you had the sun, you had you had the light, which was wonderful. For like this this chemical soup that was the earth or whatever, uh, sitting on a rock, you know. So that was supposed to be the birth of water and the birth of light. And the answer to what came first, the chicken or the egg, the chicken came first because the egg the babies just couldn't survive a human mammal. So that's how. But anyway, that was the story that came out of Alexander. They came out was the basic of of their science and the beginning uh, uh, of them exploring more of into uh, the earth and what it gives to you, and how you can uh, uh, um, how the earth maintains its life and the life that it produced. Anyway, I talked way too long. 22 minutes. Oh my god.